Hello plant friends, welcome back to the Plant Prince PH, your go-to channel for cactus care. Today, we're going to pot this Lophophora I bought from Plants by Flippi. I will also share some potting tips and aftercare. This is a Lophophora fitchii. Look at how fluffy this one is. This was from Thailand. They are called Lophophora because of the tufts of trichomes or hair on its tubercle. Lopho means crest while phora means bearing, hence crest bearing. Anyway, you'll notice that Lophophora have these tuberous roots. They have this large taproot which they use to store water. Here is another Lophophora fitchii. The ribs of this one look different from the first one. Lophophora fitchii are self-sterile, which means they require pollen from another specimen to produce fruit and seeds. In Thailand, they continuously hybridize their Lophophora to enhance some phenotypic characteristics. That is why the genetics of the Lophophora there are diverse, allowing them to produce different and unique-looking Lophophora. I currently have 4 other Lophophora. I'm starting to collect this genus since I love spineless cacti. This one is my first Lophophora. It was from Japan. I bought this last December 2021 from Succulent City. Here's what it looked like. I have been taking care of this for more than 2 years already, and it has been very generous in producing flowers. Actually, it has already started producing pop as you can see here. I will probably need to repot this one in a wider pot soon. Hopefully, in the coming months, I will be able to pollinate them when they flower. What are the components of my Lophophora potting mix? This is the component of my potting mix. It is actually almost the same with my Astrophytum potting mix. The only difference now is I replaced the 3 parts perlite with 3 parts pumice since I ran out of perlite. Anyway, the potting mix is composed of 9 parts pumice, which is around 3 to 6 mm in size. Pumice is a lightweight volcanic rock and characterized by its spongy or frothy appearance. It has numerous cavities or vesicles on its surface. It is porous and has a unique structure with air pockets, which allows for excellent drainage. It helps prevent waterlogged soil, ensuring that excess water drains away quickly. It also provides aeration around the roots. This is important for cacti as it helps prevent root rot and fungal diseases that can occur in compacted, poorly aerated soils. Moreover, it is lightweight, long-lasting, and has a neutral pH, which means it won't significantly alter the acidity or alkalinity of the potting mix. Next is 3 parts coarse grade vermiculite. This also improves the aeration and soil structure by preventing compacted potting mix. I like adding vermiculite since it retains water but it doesn't make the potting mix soggy. This is because when it wets, it starts to expand and improve air circulation. Moreover, vermiculite has insulating properties. This can help protect plant roots from extreme temperature fluctuations and reduce the risk of soil temperature extremes. It also helps regulate moisture in the potting mix, ensuring that it will not get too bone dry. Next is 2 parts peat moss. Peat moss is a type of organic material that is commonly used in horticulture. It is rich in organic material, contributing to the overall nutrient content of the potting mix. It is also sterile and free from weed seeds. Next is 2 parts coco peat. Coco peat is a renewable organic material that is also commonly used in horticulture. It has natural resistance to pests and diseases, contributing to a healthier plant growth. It is also less prone to microbial degradation compared to some other organic material. Next is 2 parts carbonized rice hull. Carbonized rice hull is a byproduct of rice processing that has undergone a controlled burning. It improves the soil structure, drainage, and aeration. It also has insulation properties, helping regulate soil temperature and creates a more stable environment for the cactus roots. Lastly, 2 parts akadama. Akadama is a naturally occurring clay-like material that is mined in certain regions of Japan. Akadama drains well. It also has the ability to retain a certain amount of water. This allows it to provide a consistent moisture supply to plants between watering sessions. Furthermore, the porosity and aeration provided by akadama promote healthy root growth. It helps prevent root rot and encourages the development of a well-branched root system. Now that we have prepared the components of my Lophophora potting mix, let's start pouring each component in a basin. By the way, you don't need to strictly follow this potting mix. I already made a video on how you can make your own potting mix using the materials available in your area. I will link the video below. You will notice in a lot of my potting mix video, I use a bulk of pumice. Pumice is the most widely used aggregate or inorganic here in the Philippines. It is also cheaper compared to other materials. In our province, we have plenty of supply of it since we are near a volcano. A 1 sack of pumice, which is around 15 to 20 kilograms, usually costs 50 Philippine peso or $1. If you don't have pumice, you may opt to use other volcanic rock or other aggregate. I'll just mix this until the components are well distributed. You could add or spray some water if the potting mix looks dry. This will also help distribute the soil components evenly. By the way, the 3 organic materials I chose also contribute to improving the aeration in the potting mix. Despite their ability to hold water, their structures allow for the passage of air, preventing soil compaction and promoting healthy roots development. They are all sterile and free from weeds. If you can't find one near you, you could just substitute them with regular soilless potting mix in your garden store. The reason why I do not use ordinary garden soil or loam soil is because it may contain unwanted insects or weed seeds. You could always make your own potting mix. What is important is ensuring that the potting mix you make drains well, contains needed nutrients, and is free from insects and weeds. Remember that ensuring a healthy cactus begins with choosing the right potting mix. As you can see, my potting mix has the right amount of organic and inorganic. The best potting mix for Lophophora is a potting mix with at least 50 to 75% inorganic and does not compact. One test to know if your potting mix is great is by the compact test. Simply get a handful of slightly moistened potting mix, then compress it. If it crumbled, then it means it is good. But if it stay compressed, then you have to add more inorganic or grit. Now let's talk about pots. This is the one that I will be potting today. It is around 5.5 cm in diameter. As you can see, it has long tuberous roots. That is why I always use tall pots. Tall pots allow the roots to have more room to grow. I will also be using plastic pots. I did some experiments since I am doing a vlog about pots. I tried to compare what material will work best in growing cactus. These two Lophophora were the same size when I potted them. The one is potted in a plastic pot and the other one is in a porous terracotta pot. They both receive the same amount and frequency of watering and the same amount of sunlight exposure. What I noticed is that the one potted in a plastic pot grows faster. As you can see, it is bigger compared to the one potted in a terracotta pot. Probably because the potting mix in the terracotta pots dry out faster and doesn't allow the cactus roots to absorb the right amount of moisture. Meanwhile, the plastic pots allow the potting mix to be moist for a bit longer. It also doesn't dry out too much and allows at least 10% moisture in the pot. This little moisture keeps the roots of the Lophophora active. But of course, you have to be careful in watering when using plastic pots, and always remember to use a well-draining potting mix. For the size of the pots, we have these different sizes of tall pots. If we try the smallest, which is around 7.7 cm, you can see that there is no more space for the roots to grow. Thus, we will not use this one. Of course, we will also not use this large 16.8 cm pot since it is way too big for the cactus and may retain more water that the cactus doesn't need. In addition to that, it also will not look nice. The next one is still the same. It will retain too much water, so we also do not want it. The next one is okay, but still has a lot of space. The best size is this 9.3 cm pot. As you can see, it has the right amount of distance from the rim of the pot to the cactus. The roots also have enough room to grow. If you will notice, the pot that I use has feet and lots of drainage holes. The feet of the pot allows air to enter the bottom of the pot, and it also allows water to drain properly. Now that we have chosen the pot, let us now pot the Lophophora. Here are the things that I use in potting. The first one is pumice. I add this at the bottom of the pot. Then, the next one is the top dressing, which is Akadama. Then we have Osmocote, which is a slow-release fertilizer. We have Starkel G Dinotefuran, which is a granular systemic insecticide from Thailand. Then of course, potting tools. And lastly, the potting mix. The first thing I do is to add some pumice at the bottom of the pot to cover the holes. This will keep the organic components of my potting mix from washing away when watering. Just a little amount will do. Don't worry about raising the water per each table, since I am using a porous aggregate that is also used in the potting mix we made. Next step is to add the potting mix up until halfway through the pot. Position the Lophophora. Make sure that it is centered. Make sure that the green part of the Lophophora is above the rim of the pot if you want it to look aesthetically pleasing. Continue adding the potting mix, leaving only a few centimeters from the rim of the pot. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I usually reply as soon as I can. For my Filipino subscribers, everything I use here, including the pots, ingredients in my potting mix, fertilizer, and other garden essentials are compiled and linked in the description. I also want to thank everyone who has been supporting me since I started this YouTube channel. A special thanks to Troy Linardi for joining our channel membership. Your support helps me enhance and improve the content I provide. Make sure to slightly top the pot so the potting mix will settle. When the potting mix is near the rim of the pot, I'll be adding some Osmocote. Osmocote releases nutrients slowly over an extended period of time. These controlled release features provide a consistent and gradual supply of essential nutrients to the cactus, promoting steady growth and minimizing the risk of over-fertilization. Next is Starkel G. This is for insect prevention. Starkel G is a granular systemic insecticide. It protects the cacti from insects, including those hidden in the cacti roots. I will add a little bit more potting mix just to ensure that the brown part of the Lophophora is buried. Next is to add our top dressing. I chose Akadama because I like the clean, earthy look of it that contrasts the greenish color of Lophophora. Akadama also changes color when it is wet. This is useful, especially if you always forget when you last water your cacti. I just put a little bit around the cactus until it covers the potting mix. Using tweezers, remove the exposed potting mix. Then, remove the dust or potting mix from the cactus by brushing it with a soft bristle brush. And there you have it, a newly potted Lophophora fitchii. I'll be placing this Lophophora in a bright area for the meantime while it is still adjusting. This will protect them from strong afternoon sunlight. My garden also has a UV plastic sheet and a 40% shade net to protect my cactus from strong sunlight. This is important since most of my cactus are spineless. After 2 to 3 days, I'll start light watering. I always wait at least 2 days before watering. This is to give the cactus roots enough time to heal if ever it got damaged from potting. This will prevent root rot. I will be light watering this cactus for at least a month, enough to moisten the soil mix and encourage root growth. You could also mix rooting hormones to make the process faster. In about a few weeks, the roots will start growing. After a month or 2, the cacti will start to resist when I pull them. This is a sign that the cacti have enough roots. By this time, I'll start the soak and dry method of watering. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more cactus videos. Until next time, happy planting!